I love summertime. I love the sun, I love the heat, I love the fact that my birthday is August 14th, so right in the middle of summer. There's one thing that I can't stand about summer though, and it's the fact that I have to get up early to go do my outdoor exercises.
You're watching the Bear Pantry Show.
There's one more thing that I don't like about summer either. It's the fact that I can't record inside, because when the AC unit is rolling, it's heavy and you can hear it when you put on headphones. I have a lot of videos from when I first started doing YouTube where I'm standing right underneath the vent in the kitchen, and the wind and the breeze is so loud that it's annoying. So I'd rather sit outside and have you guys listen to the ambiance of outdoors in the summer. So we went on our bike ride today. It was lovely as we pedaled. A wind was gusting up like now. Sometimes I have to pause to let the wind blow because it's going to get in the mic, right? So we rode west 3.5 miles. See, the people are playing football, people are walking their dogs. Everybody is out and having a good time. We don't go further than this right now because to come back it's 3.5 miles. So that's 6 miles, right? 6 miles in one day. That's pretty good. So on the way back, we did run into my daughter-in-law's sister. I don't think she recognized us though, because we've only seen her once, well, twice. One time at the wedding 2 years ago, and then 4th of July. So I kind of recognized her face. I'm like, wait a minute. Joe, why do I know her? Joe says, I think it's Esther's sister. So I circled back around and went to say hi to her. I don't think she recognized us at first either. I'm like, wait, I know her. So then we continued, and as we got over here by the fountain, because I think that's why my city is called Fontana, because it's a bunch of fountains, I saw this cop car go, right? This cop, I don't know if it's an SUV. Can you guys see what it is? I'm like, okay, what are they doing out right now? So then we get to the Tahoe, and this young lady approaches us, right? Now, I'm very leery of people approaching me, even if it's a young girl that looks like she's in distress, because you can never tell if it's a, what do you call the thing, a ruse. You know, that's what they say on these police shows, right? It's a ruse. You can never tell if it's a ruse where she might have her big burly boyfriend waiting around the bend to come and attack us or rob us or something, right? So she just popped out of nowhere, and she's like, the library, and my music was playing loud, so I can't even play what she was saying for you guys. And I said, I don't think they open today, and if they open today, they open kind of later, I think. I don't know what time the library open. And then she goes, I need somewhere to charge my phone. So I don't have time to stay there for her to charge her phone. I don't know who she is. Is she on drugs? You know, what is she? So I said, well, maybe the homeless around there by the back of the library right there will let you use their charger. I don't know where they charge their phones, but their phones are always charged. And so she says, where? And I go around there, and then discernment set in for me, because I saw that nobody was approaching from behind her. The clothing that she was wearing, she couldn't hide a weapon. She had a see-through bag of her personal effects. I'm like, how come this girl don't have a purse? You know, I'm like processing fast while Joe is loading the bikes onto the Tahoe, and I'm like, pay attention. So then I said, are you okay? Did somebody hurt you? Do you need for me to call the police for you? And she goes, no. What happened was I was arrested last night. I'm sorry.
That's okay, baby. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right. Don't worry about it.
We started fighting, and
Somebody called the police.
he threw me out of the house and started screaming at me for someone called.
And I got arrested, and now I'm out, and they just dropped me off. I don't know what to do. My phone's dead. I don't know this town. And I was like, oh my God. I've heard that the police in different cities will do that, but that's very foul. Don't you think that's foul for them to do that to a young person like that? And a girl, no less, right? So I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna have to help this young lady. So I asked her name. I don't want to say her name on air. I'm not even gonna show her face on air because she was in distress. I don't want to do that to people, right? So I asked her what phone she had. If it was an Android, I still had a charger. If it's an iPhone, I have a charger, because Joe and I both have different phones. So it was an iPhone, so I plugged it in. It was totally dead, and I told her, give it a minute to boot up, calm down, breathe. We're not gonna abandon you, okay? We're gonna help you. And so I said, do you want to give me a number for me to call somebody for you from my phone while the phone tries to come back on? And she says, I don't have anybody's number memorized. That thing hit me in my heart. Let me tell you why. I was that person who had everybody's number memorized up to about 10 years ago. And now all I have memorized is Joe, my kids, my sister, right? Who else do I have memorized? I had this one lady that I used to call years ago, but I don't call her no more. So Child, I don't have nobody's number. Do you have people's number memorized? Or are you relying on your phone? Because now this young lady couldn't give me her mama number, her sister number, nobody number. She had to wait for her phone to boot up. What if she didn't have that phone? Who was she gonna call? That thing hit me. So the story is she had this boyfriend for 2 years. She eventually, okay, let me not jump ahead. The phone eventually booted up. She went through it. She says, I think they did something to my phone. Nobody's answering every time I call. It's just dead. And I said, that's been happening to us since yesterday. There's something going on with technology. Remember when they said everything crashed and the planes couldn't fly and yada yada? Banking was affected, yada yada. Well, our phones are affected too, guys. Every time I call Jory, it's just dead. I have to text him and go, can you call me back? I'm not getting through. So that was happening to her. And so she finally got through to her sister, but I thought it was her mom. And the sister was talking really lovingly towards her on the phone, on the speakerphone, and asking her in Spanish, where were you? We were so worried all night. We thought something happened to you. We thought you were dead. Oh my God, we're so glad you're okay. Are you okay? Do you want me to come get you? Where are you? And then she said, I was in jail, not prison, but jail. And she started to cry and she said, perdóname, perdóname, I mean, you know, forgive me, forgive me. And so I felt so bad for her. She's only 22. And so the sister is coming all the way from another city that's like an hour away. And I said, that's going to be a long ride for her. I said, where's your car? Maybe we could take you to your car. She said she didn't know because she didn't remember the name of the restaurant that they went to. And so luckily she had put it in her GPS. That's another thing, guys. Put the thing in your GPS. Okay. She put it in her GPS and she was able to find the location. And we drove her there. It was a 3 minutes drive away, probably a 20-minute walk, but 3 minutes drive. The car was still there. Thank you, Jesus. We pulled up into this restaurant right here. You see this red car? Take note of it, okay? So she got to the car and I said, make sure you have a charger for your phone in the car, because these young kids like to leave their chargers everywhere, right? If you don't have one, I'll give you mine. I mean, it's like $10 to go to the swap meet and buy another one, right? I'd rather the young lady have the charger and for her to get home safe, because her phone had like 5% battery. It was charging in the car while we drove over there. So I said, call your sister back to let her know that you found the car, because the sister was going to drive to come fetch her. But then who's going to drive her car? And I said, you're not drunk anymore, because she said she was drunk the night before and she got arrested. And she says, no, I was in jail at least 5 or 6 hours. So, you know, she slept that off. So what had happened was her boyfriend of 2 years went with her partying at that restaurant. They were drinking. They both got drunk. They got into a fight. And the cops were called because he was shoving her. The cops came. They arrested her for, I guess, being drunk in public or whatever. And they arrested him for DV. You know what that means, right? So he's still locked up. She got released and they dumped her over there amongst the homeless. That's foul, Fontana PD. Very foul. So she got in a car. She showed me the charger. She called the sister in front of me. I told her, lock the doors, gather your composure, because you have to drive an hour away. You can't be crying and being distraught. You have to focus while you're driving. Cry when you get home. You know, at least you're safe. In the car, Joe was like, I don't want to say lecturing her, but Joe was giving her advice. Like, this is what I would tell my 28-year-old daughter. You better leave that boy alone. Yeah. I'm not your mama, but you better leave that boy alone. You're too pretty for that, you know?
Thank you.
You deserve more.
You're young and you got your whole life ahead of you, sweetheart. Just go ahead and live your life. Don't make people take chance out of you.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
I would say this to my daughter too, you know?
Well, I always talk to my daughter about these kind of make no man take no chance.
God bless you, boy. Thank you so much.
Don't drink when you're out in public, because you can't control your, you know, what's around you, and you have to stay focused. And and dump that boyfriend. Don't go back with him. He's a loser. For him to do that to you, blah blah. Joe was lecturing this girl. He was lecturing. Who are we trying to fool? But she was listening. She hugged us and she says, God bless you for helping me. I received that. This is the second young person we've had to help like that randomly in the street. And you have to use your discernment. I hate when people say, oh, I don't judge. The Bible say don't judge. You can't judge me. Only God can judge me. You lie. The Bible says the righteous can judge, and we have to. We have to be able to judge a right situation from a wrong situation. We have to be able to judge a good person from a bad person, you know, so we don't get harmed. You know what I mean? So I was judging at first, judging like, are you on drugs? Is there a big burly boyfriend coming to attack us? What do you have planned? Is this a ruse? Who are you? Where did you come from out of nowhere? And then quickly discernment set in and it's like, no, this girl needs help. You better be there for her. You can't leave her abandoned like this. Although the homeless people around the bend would have helped her. They're really, really cool people. They would have helped her. So at least plug in the phone. So anyways, as we were leaving, oh, this wind, why did you stop blowing, wind? We made a right turn out of the restaurant's parking lot, and then Joe stopped. He pulled over and I go, what? And he goes, see that red car? I don't know if you noticed, but there's a man sitting in it and he's just like watching her. So Joe backed up the truck and we look in. The guy gets out his car like he's going towards her car, but we're not sure. So Joe did a U-it over these yellow lines, and he did like what do you call it, Miami Vice. One finger, roll right back up to her again, put the window down. She opened the door. I said, don't want to call her name. I said, you need to pay attention to your surrounding. We don't know who this guy is. The guy backed up, went back to his car, right? I said, there were the only 2 cars in the parking lot. You saw that when we rolled in. I said, we don't know who he is. He may work at the restaurant, whatever, but we circled back around because we're worried. And I said, lock the door and go. Don't stay here in the car and just trying to call people. Go. So she left. She's in the black car. She left. And I pray to God she got home safely. I did give her my card that if she wants to call and tell me she's safe, you know. But God bless her. I hope she doesn't go back with that boyfriend. And I hope she's learned from this. One, don't drink when you go out with these people, right? Because how was she going to drive if she was drinking? He was drinking too. Who was going to drive them? She was going to get a DUI. That would have been worse. Your first DUI nowadays is not even 10K no more. I think your first DUI is 15K. That's with all the fees and the lawyer and da-da-da. And if you didn't hurt nobody, if you hurt somebody, it's jail, you know? So also I hope she learned that she needs to memorize more people's phone number, you know? And God, these young people, they have it hard nowadays. So I was glad that we were able to help her, guys. So it's never a dull moment over here at the Bear Pantry Show.
This is the Bear Pantry Show.
See the police that went by just now when we were coming around? That's who kicked her out, I think. The police truck. When we were going by the what do you call the water fountain?